What's going on guys, Arrow here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about a really big potential leak for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So by now, I'm sure that a lot of you guys already know about this leak. I mean, this leak has pretty much been discussed by the Smash Bros. Community for the past few days, and it actually originated from Snapchat, I'm pretty sure, so that's pretty interesting as well. And so I do want to discuss this leak with you guys and give you guys my thoughts on it. So I am going to be showing you guys the image that was leaked as well as the content that's within this leak. So if you guys do not want to be spoiled on any potential information for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds right now to leave this video. Otherwise, you're going to be able to see these spoilers as soon as they come up on your screen.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so it looks like you guys are still here, and so there is the leak itself. You can see the image right here, and it is very blurry, as I'm sure a lot of you guys can tell right away, but here is the new information that people were able to gather from this leak. And of course, this leak is a picture of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate poster, and this is pretty much the poster that they've shown ever since they revealed the game. This is the poster that they use for whenever they say everyone is here, and then they also add the new characters that they show off into this poster as well. And so this leaked poster here is potentially showing us the last few characters that are left to be revealed for this game. And so from this potential poster leak, the characters that have yet to be shown are Shadow, Ken, Banjo-Kazooie, Geno, Isaac, Mach Rider, and the Chorus Kids. So let's talk about these characters for a bit. So the first character that we have here is Shadow the Hedgehog, and I think that Shadow is definitely a character that many people were expecting to see in Super Smash Bros. I mean, the really big thing is that we haven't seen the Shadow Assist Trophy at all, and we've noticed that Nintendo hasn't been showing us Assist Trophies for any characters that have turned into actual fighters, like how we pretty much didn't see the Isabelle Assist Trophy at all, and now we know that Isabelle is going to be her own fighter, so I'm pretty sure that they're doing the same exact thing with Shadow. And then also because of how we have Echo fighters, I think that it just makes a ton of sense to have two fighters that are very similar, but then also have different properties and attributes to try to make them into a unique fighter. So it just makes a ton of sense to have Shadow as an Echo fighter, and same thing with our next fighter that's going to be in this league, and that is Ken. So Ken makes a lot of sense for Super Smash Bros. As well. I mean, we've pretty much been hearing in leaks and rumors that Ken is going to be in the game, and it just makes a ton of sense because Ken is very similar to Ryu, and they could pretty much just do a lot of the same things with Ryu, but have a little bit of different properties and attributes for Ken, and I'm pretty sure that Ken can have like flaming kicks and stuff like that, so they could just take some of the similar moves that Ryu has, give them to Ken, and then add like a flaming ability or some flaming attribute that does different damage or something else in order to make Ken a pretty unique fighter, but still based off of Ryu. Now, one of the more surprising characters from this leak is Banjo-Kazooie, and Banjo-Kazooie is a character that I know many people would love to have in Super Smash Bros., but I really just didn't think that it was going to happen, and if this turns out to be true, then I know a lot of people are just going to be very happy, so I would love to see Banjo-Kazooie appear in the game. The next two characters that we have in this leak are Geno and Isaac, and so both of these characters are also characters that many people would love to have in Super Smash Bros. I mean, these characters have been requested for the longest time, so I think this would be awesome as well if both of these characters got into the game. Now we also have the Chorus Kids from Rhythm Heaven, and so the Chorus Kids are also a character that I know many people would love to see in the game, but the thing about the Chorus Kids is that these characters have actually been rumored ever since Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS and the Wii U, and I remember hearing rumors in like 2014 about seeing the Chorus Kids that are going to appear in the game, and also hearing about, I think like even the ESRB leak when that happened, there was someone from the ESRB saying that the Chorus Kids were going to be DLC, or that the Chorus Kids were still going to appear in the game, and so it looks like that the Chorus Kids are finally going to be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which makes a ton of sense, and it also kind of makes me wonder that maybe Sakurai ran into the same kind of situation with the Chorus Kids that happened with the Ice Climbers, where they did have the Chorus Kids planned for Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS and the Wii U, but maybe because of technical limitations with the 3DS, they just decided that they have to remove the Chorus Kids and maybe put them into the next game. And finally, the really interesting character that we have here is Mach Rider. And I'm gonna admit I didn't know anything about this character. I did have to do a little bit of research, but apparently it looks like that Mach Rider is actually from a very old NES game, and this is like an NES futuristic driving game that came out a really long time ago, and so Mach Rider is a character that appears from that game, and it looks like that Mach Rider could potentially be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now the thing about this is that I could totally see Mach Rider being this old school retro character that nobody expects to see in Super Smash Bros. And I feel like that Sakurai really likes to put characters like this into the recent Super Smash Bros. Games. I mean, this pretty much started with Super Smash Bros. Brawl when we got Rob the Robot, and I think a lot of people just didn't expect to see Rob the Robot as a new character, but when it did happen, it was a really awesome old school reference. And the same thing with Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS and the Wii U when we got the Duck Hunt dog, because it was an awesome reference to the Duck Hunt game, and it's just a very cool old school character that nobody expected to see. So I can totally see Mach Rider being a character like that nobody expects to have in Super Smash Bros. This time around. And so those are all of the characters from the content of the leak, but now comes the part in talking about whether or not this leak is real, and pretty much all of the evidence that we have right now for why this leak could be real, and all of the evidence that we have right now for why this leak could be fake. So let's start with talking about all of the reasons as to why this leak could be real. So the first thing that we have here is with all the images that we've gotten from the leak, there's actually this one image right here of the poster's background, or like this blank version of Battlefield that no one has ever seen. So a lot of people are saying that because of how this is like a new image that no one has seen, it might add some credibility to the leak being real. Now the next thing that we have here is that it looks like that the person who uploaded this image to Snapchat, or whoever posted this image in the first place, may have accidentally leaked their name. And so of course with the internet having someone's name in their hands, it's not going to take very long for them to find out as much information as they can about this person. So with all the internet doing its research about this person, there are some pretty interesting things that have been discovered. Now I'm not going to disclose this person's name or anything like that in this video because it is some private information, but what I can say is that with all of the research that the internet has done from this name and all the stuff like that, they have discovered that this person apparently works at a company called Marina, and that is connected with Bandai Namco. Now you guys know for a fact that Bandai Namco is a part of developing Super Smash Bros, so it might look like that maybe this person did have some type of connection and some way to actually have information about the game. Now the pretty interesting thing about this leak is that if we take a look at the original image and actually zoom into some of the parts here, you can see that there's actually images of the Grinch. So now you might be thinking, well, what does the Grinch have to do with video games? What does the Grinch have to do with Smash Bros? And the thing about this that actually makes it very interesting is that it looks like the person who posted this actually works for some type of company where they're creating images and graphics for stuff that needs to be promoted, and it looks like that something that they were asked to promote is the brand new Grinch movie. So with the brand new Grinch movie that is coming out, as well as Super Smash Bros, maybe this is just some sort of advertising company that was asked to promote all of this stuff, and this person who just took a picture of the Smash Bros poster, the full version of it, just happened to have some other stuff that they were working on which was underneath it, and so that's why we have the picture of the Grinch here. Something that's also pretty cool here is that it looks like that there's actually one leak that happened on 4chan towards the end of September, and this leak that's on 4chan has a lot of explicit wording here, like there's a lot of bad words, so I'm going to blur that stuff out, but pretty much every single character that they talk about is in this leak here. So I just find that very interesting. Like they pretty much say right here, Isaac is in, Shadow and Ken are Echoes, Korra's kids are in, Gino is in, Mach Rider is in, Banjo is in, and all of those characters are in this leak right here. They also talk about a few other things that like certain characters were cut, like Dixie Kong and Monster Hunter. Now I don't know if this means like they were actually considered like as characters in the game, and then Sakurai just decided in the end like they aren't going to put them, but it also has other information here saying that Taboo, Necrozma, Crazy Hand, and Spirit Hand are bosses. So there's a lot of interesting things here, and I just find it cool how all of this stuff does line up. So maybe in fact this stuff that happened from 4chan could turn out to be real, and we have seen stuff like that before. I mean, you guys know like earlier this year, like in April, I'm pretty sure on April 1st, April Fool's Day, someone pretty much gave us the complete confirmed information about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, so it could be very well true that maybe this person does have real information about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now the next thing that we have here is that earlier this year, Mr. Sakurai actually got to have an interview, and in the interview he talked about how he purchased this mech toy and how this mech toy was actually related to his work. And so when this interview came out, everybody began speculating about what he could be talking about, whether he was talking about a new game, if he was talking about Smash Bros. And with this recent leak right here, many people are thinking that maybe he was hinting or teasing that Mach Rider was going to be a character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now this next thing here is something that I find very interesting, and I think that this actually does prove a lot of credibility, and that's the fact that if we take away these Echo Fighters in this leak, so presumably we're taking away Shadow and Ken, which are probably not going to get their own stages, we have 5 more characters that are complete newcomers. Now if all of these 5 newcomers came with their own stages, then that would bring the total number of stages that we have that was revealed in the August Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct, which was 103, to 108. And if you guys remember, we actually got a CoroCoro leak that talked about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and said that there were a total of 108 stages. So this would all line up perfectly. Like it makes a ton of sense. Right now we know about 103 stages, 5 more newcomers with the stage that's going to come with each of them. That could easily make it to 108. The next thing is that if we have all of these new characters that actually appear in the game, there's going to be a total of 7 brand new characters. And so if we have 7 brand new characters with all of the existing characters, then that would make the total number of characters be 77. And we also have the random button, so now if we organize it on the menu, you can actually see that it makes a ton of sense to have it as a 6x3 grid, where you have 13 characters in a row and you have 6 columns, so that would make a ton of sense. And also the really cool thing that people have noticed is that if this turns out to be the total number of characters, we can actually have all 12 of the original Super Smash Bros. Fighters right at the top. And finally, the last big thing that we have as to why this leak could be real is that if you guys don't know, Nintendo is actually promoting Super Smash Bros. Ultimate by taking it to selected colleges. And so they actually uploaded a video of like the most recent college that they went to, and the thing is with the gameplay that they showed for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, people were actually able to identify a brand new item that hasn't been shown before. And so of course in minutes the internet was able to find out that this is actually an item that appears in Golden Sun. And so a lot of people are thinking that maybe this means that because of how we have a Golden Sun item in the game, Isaac is going to be in the game, and that could also mean that this leak is real. And so those are all of the reasons that we have as to why this leak could be real, but we also have some reasons as to why people are saying that this leak is fake, and so I do want to give you guys my thoughts on that as well. So yeah, let's take a look at them. Now, of course, the first reason that I know a lot of people are saying that this is fake is the really common reason that doesn't make a lot of sense, and that is that the picture is blurry. So people are just saying that because of how this picture is blurry, it means that it's probably fake because the person who created this is probably trying to hide all of their like mistakes by just making sure that the picture is very blurry so we can't notice all of the details. But the really cool thing about this that I'm sure a lot of people actually don't know is that this image that we have here of this poster isn't from the leak itself. Like basically what we did was this image that came with like the Snapchat, like when it was uploaded, was actually taken and put into Photoshop and then made very big so that we could find out all of the other characters that are hidden inside of this poster. So it's not really that the leak is blurry, it's that we've just expanded stuff to make it blurry so that we can actually find some of the other things that are easy to notice. And also I know a lot of people are saying that because it's blurry it's probably fake, and they're also pointing out so many things that like the Mii fighter inside of the picture is covering up a cloud or something and it looks like it's smeared onto Bayonetta. And the thing is, a lot of these things come up whenever we get leaks like this. I mean, if you guys remember the ESRB leak that happened for Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS, this was the image that was uploaded of the character select screen, and I remember even then people were saying that this is fake because it's blurry, and people were coming up with things like saying that Mr. Game & Watch's hand, it looks like that it's moving into Wario's portrait, so that's why it's fake. Like, people come up with all of these insane things, and so that's why they're saying that it's fake. But the thing about this is that just because the images are blurry doesn't mean that the entire thing is fake. Like, we all know that that turned out to be real, so I'm not saying that this means that this entire thing is real as well. I'm just saying that just because something looks like it's blurry or smearing onto something else, you can't just say right away that the thing is fake. And really the other big reason that I know people are saying as to why they think that this leak is fake is that we actually have an image here of the blank version of this poster from an E3 event that happened where like Nintendo was just showing off Smash Bros. So I'll put that picture up on screen right now, and I'll put the picture of the leak right here. And so people are saying that because of how these images don't line up, like there's a few clouds that have changed, like the colors have changed a little bit, it makes it seem like this entire leak is fake. Now the thing about this is that of course there's going to be stuff that changes from the version you see at E3 to the version that we get when we actually play the game, or like the final version of this image. So I definitely think that the image just could have been edited. I feel like just because some of the stuff doesn't line up, it doesn't mean that the leak is fake right away. So that's just me giving my thoughts on how I feel about it. I mean, I also remember with the 3DS leak that happened from the ESRB, there was actually an image right here, like I'll put that image on screen right now, where you can actually see that one line here is thicker than the other. And so people were using this to say that this entire leak is fake because one line is thicker, like the person screwed up in Photoshop. But the really interesting thing is that that thick line was actually a bug in the 3DS version. And if I can find the video, I'll show it on screen, but you can actually see that the person, when they selected here in the demo, it actually had a thick line even in the demo build of Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS. And so there you go guys, that is the major Super Smash Bros. Ultimate leak that we have as of right now. Just some crazy stuff and a lot of insane things that are going on right now for everyone. So definitely be sure to click that like button if you guys enjoyed this video, and also comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this. Do you guys think that this leak is fake? Do you guys think that it is real? Definitely be sure to let me know all of your thoughts down below. If you guys want my opinion on it, I feel like that the leak is probably 70% real and 30% fake, but definitely let me know how you guys feel about it down below. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Smash Bros content in the future, so please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at @ActualArrow so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of nice people there who are always talking about Smash Bros and Pokemon and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. I'll have that linked in the description. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.